welcome to a new segment we're going to try to do, and that's going to be the work in progress. I'm going to do my best to do a work in progress video for all of my kits moving forward. I just feel like it'll be a good way to show off a little bit more what I got going on for the behind the scenes with the model kits, and that way when I go over the actual full presentation, you'll have a better appreciation of what goes into it, and it'll probably be easier for you to replicate as well if I do it in little segments rather than just showing off the finished product. So I think this will be a fun way to do it. I'm going to try to expand on it later in future series, but for now it's just going to be pretty basic. I'm just going to have B-roll of just the parts as they are, and then that's kind of it. And then eventually I'd like to get into showing off what I'm actually doing once we can figure out the best way to do that. But for now, we're going to start things off with the Furai Acid Storm that I'm doing custom paint job as SKYWARP. This is a good one to start off with just because it's going to be one color scheme going into a completely different color scheme, so you can really see the shifts. So to start off with, I have to separate all the parts, obviously, figure out which parts are going to be in what colors. So I pretty much just Googled SKYWARP and then just looked at different pictures to see what color should be what, and then just reference the instruction manual with pictures I find online, and then go from there. I feel like that's the easiest way to go about separating all the parts. So right off the bat, we have all the black parts, which is basically the wings, the legs, and then the arms. And then I decided to make the null rays in black. I just feel like it looked a little bit more streamlined, and I hope it comes off that way. If you look at pictures online from SKYWARP, or just Transformers in general, I feel like because it's a very old series, there's a lot of variation in the designs. I've seen different setups of the color scheme depending on who's doing it, what series it's in. Is it a toy? Is it a comic? Is it in the animation? It really just varies. There's all different ways that I've seen SKYWARP done. I picked out the parts the best way I could just to have it be as cohesive as possible. As you can see, the null rays are there in the mix for the black parts. I think I did that on accident, if I'm being honest. I don't think I was really paying attention and didn't realize that the null rays were supposed to be purple. But there you go. They're going to be black because it's already painted, so you know, it is what it is. Same thing with the shoulders. I was completely just not paying attention on that. That's all me. I was not paying attention. It's driving me crazy because I've done this more than once where I'm just not paying attention, and then something gets painted wrong, and then we just gotta live with it. The shoulders are supposed to be purple, but I did them in black. Not the biggest deal. I think it's probably gonna honestly look better with this particular version of the Seeker mold, just because it is very edgy and hardcore. I feel like having it be more black than purple will probably work in its benefit. It wasn't until I literally was finishing up detailing the part, I looked in the instructions. I was like, wait a minute, this is the shoulder piece? I thought this was like a skirt armor or something. What the heck? Why is... I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Didn't realize it was supposed to be purple, and we're just gonna have to live with it. It still looks fine. Not a big deal, but... Moving on, and then the next set of parts is the silver bits. So that's basically just the waist armor and the torso. So that's all going to be up in silver. That was all just bright green for Acid Storm. So I just took all those parts, and now we're going to shift them into silver, and they'll be super simple. Not a problem at all, just easy to do. It's never too complicated to shift something from one color into another, especially when you prime everything. That's why I prime everything, is just to make sure the colors transition perfectly. We don't want to have the underlying plastic affecting anything in the paint scheme, so that's why it's always good to prime up stuff, and we're gonna go and do that here. And then for the purple bits, it's basically all the dark green. Anything that was dark green on Acid Storm, we basically just changed that to purple. Pretty easy. Like I said, once you prime it up, you just make it purple, and there you go. So that was a really easy way to go about it for this particular model. That kept things simple. Didn't have to worry so much about anything getting mixed up. Like I said, the shoulders and the null rays also should have been purple, but at least for the shoulders, I accidentally made them black. And then for the null rays, I think I intentionally from the get-go wanted to make them black and then just forgot that I decided that. I don't know. I don't know what happened. That was past Kevin and current Kevin and future Kevin. We're not all on the same page. I don't know what to tell you. We all have different ideas, and we just have to figure out how to make them work. But here we are. So basically, yeah, I just took all the forest green parts, made them purple. There you go. Easy as. I don't always do a lot of seam line filling. I just feel like it's more work than it's worth. I'd rather just leave it. I mean, I feel like the paint job and the decals and all that type of stuff usually just makes up for it, so that's why I don't really get bent out of shape for that stuff. But if it's ever just a simple piece where it's just a really just easy line to fill in, screw it, I'll put in that little extra work. So I did that here with the nose cone, and for the cockpit, I guess? I don't know, is this the cockpit? I guess it is the cockpit for the jet mode, and it came out pretty good. I have to say, the nose cone looks damn near perfect. You know what? I'm going to say it looks perfect. I've already finished painting it and everything. Can't see the seam at all. I forgot that it was 2 separate pieces, honestly. When I finished painting it, I was like, wait a minute, wasn't this 2 pieces? And I looked it over and I was like, oh yeah, I did. I filled in the seam. So that came out great. The cockpit came out mostly good. You could still see a little bit of the seam on certain parts. So I don't know. That's part of the reason why I don't really mess with the seams too often is it's very hit or miss. It's hard to tell if the job is done until after everything is done. And if you don't do a perfect job, it is noticeable. So sometimes I'll give it a shot and it'll work. It came out pretty well for this one. Other times you'll definitely see on other projects where it's very noticeable that we didn't fill it in quite right. So I don't know, man. If it's simple enough, I'll give it a shot. If it looks a little bit too complicated, so for example, the null rays, that's 2 halves clasped together. I was not going to mess with that. Screw that. I'm not trying to fill the seam on that. It's fine. We're just going to leave it. It's fine. So to start things off, especially for this kit, what made it really easy is anything that needs to be in metallics, I always make it in a glossy black coat first. Then you go over with the metallic colors, and that's how you get a nice sheen out of it. So in the case of these parts, because the bulk of this kit is already supposed to be black, and then there's a bunch of gunmetal and then silver bits, it made it really easy just to prime everything in black for the most part. Really, the only thing I didn't prime in black was the purple parts. So everything else was just primed up in black. Then we took anything that was supposed to be a metallic color, and then from there I went over it with a gloss coat, so that way it would really be nice and shiny. And then everything that was supposed to be black, you just leave it. It's already pretty flat, like the Gaia Notes itself is already a pretty flat black. You just leave it. There you go. Give it another flat coat on top and you're done. So you can really see the shine of the black parts after I added that gloss coat. It makes a really big difference when you compare the before and after pics, because now there's a huge shine to it that wasn't there before. So now when we add that silver on top and the gunmetal and everything, it's really going to pop out and be full of luster, which is what I'm going for. I want it to be as shiny and metallic as possible. Give it a real world vibe to it. All right, now go ahead and get out your sunglasses. You're going to need them because this silver is to die for. I mean, good lord, look at that. Am I looking at white or is it silver? It's just so shiny. I can't tell. There's a glare in my face. It's hard to see anything, but I'll make it through just for you guys. But as you can see, yes, it came out pretty much perfect. I mean, good lord, that is a shiny silver. It looks so wonderful. And if I didn't do the gloss coat and just left it as a flat black, it probably wouldn't be quite as shiny, honestly. And then for the purple bits on the wings and stuff and for the knees, there's a couple of masking spots that need to be done. So I went ahead and masked things off for this kit. There's a ton more masking I still need to do. I've already finished the purple. You're not going to see it in this video, unfortunately, but the purple's done. I still need to move forward with masking just to finish up this kit for the detailing. But I just want to show off to get an idea of what I had in mind for the masking, so that way you can see that it's not that difficult. It's a pain in the ass to do. It's just time consuming, but it's not hard. It's easy to do. You just make sure to line everything up. You don't have to mask off 100% of the part. Just mask off around the part that you need to paint. And then from there, I just get bigger pieces of masking tape, make sure they're flat and open, so that way they just cover everything else. As long as you've got basically an umbrella around everything else, you don't have to go crazy and mask every little detail. I did have to do that for the wings on this kit, but usually, like you can see with this kneecap piece, I didn't really have to go crazy on it. I just made a nice little umbrella around everything, so that way we wouldn't have to worry. But that's basically all I got for this work in progress. It's nothing crazy. I just wanted to show off pretty much what I started with and where it's going and then how I got there. So if you can take the time to sit down and plan everything out and then just take it one step at a time, it's a very fun process. So I really enjoyed it. I enjoy just sitting down, planning out the overall big picture project. For the most part, like I said, I know what I want to do. It's just a matter of what is the first step. And then after you get step 1 done, okay, now that we've done that, what do we need to do next? And then there you go. Try not to stress too much about it. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. This was just a simple, small little project that I'm just testing out. I'm hoping to expand further in the future and actually show off a little bit more of the process. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you're excited to see the finished product, and we'll get there when we get there. So we'll see you then. Peace.